Hi guys, Neil here with FaceliftInteriors. Welcome back to our channel. Today we have a special guest joining us. His name's Steve. He lives right here. So in today's video we're going to be showing you how to do a Van Dyke join in a diamond tufted headboard or deep button headboard. So a Van Dyke is basically a join in the fabric if the fabric isn't wide enough to go all the way across the headboard. Because if you're using a velvet like we are in this video, the pile needs to run down and the fabric isn't wide enough because most fabrics are only between 140 and 150, some are a bit shorter. They don't go all the way across because when you push down the buttons, you lose at least an inch in each button. So there's a thing called a Van Dyke. I've always been known to be called a Van Dyke.
Hold on a second. Did I just call myself a Van Dyke?
I've always been known to be called a Van Dyke.
Yes I did. Moving on.
There might be other names for it, and it's basically where you join two bits of fabric together, but you don't just do a straight line, you have to follow the diamonds, and then so when it's folded under, you don't even see it at all. So it's an invisible join in a tufted deep button headboard. So yes, it's a Van Dyke like Dick Van Dyke. So without further ado, this is how you do a Van Dyke join in a diamond tufted or deep button headboard.
Look at the size of him, man. Oh, he's a big fella. He's your friend, man. Right, so we are going to be doing a Van Dyke join today. So here is the headboard. So we are changing the fabric on this. Customer doesn't like it, wants to change the colour, so we're going to a grey. But obviously, this is wider than the fabric is. And with velvet, you want it to go down. That's the correct way to do it. So what we're going to do is we're going to measure out our diamonds and then we are going to have to do a Van Dyke join. So a Van Dyke join is essentially where the fabric isn't long enough, you have to do a join in the fabric, but it follows the pattern, it follows the diamond. You can also do it like that, straight across, but I'm going to show you how to do it this way. So there's going to be a join in the fabric, probably here, here, but you're not going to notice because it's going to be sewn together and then folded under. Let's measure how wide the fabric is going to go. So I'm allowing myself an inch there, nice and tight, down into the holes, keeping the loose tape measure nice and taut. Right, so our join is going to be, I'm just going to mark this with a chalk because we're getting rid of this fabric. So our join is going to go boom, 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 boom. Because that is the widest point, but I don't think the fabric's going to reach that far. So now we're going to draw out our diamonds. We need to measure the size of our diamonds. So they are, instead of making allowances, we will just take the measurement all the way down. So that to me is 10 1/4, side to side. 6 1/4. So sometimes we make an allowance, we measure the diamond from there to there, we don't go down, and then we'll add 1 1/4 on for the drop. But we can measure into the drops with this, so it's fine. So I'm going to measure the fabric, how much fabric we're going to need as well. So I'm allowing 1 inch at the top, maybe just 2. Let's go 2 to the piping. From there to there, that is going to be 30 inches. So that's how wide I'm going to cut the fabric. Also, I need to know the distance from this diamond, from this button here, to the end. So I need to know how much fabric is going to be there, so I can staple off, let's say 7 inches. And then from the top, how much we're going to need to come down is 7 inches as well. So make sure, before you cut, once you start measuring, you allow 7 in and 7 down. You don't leave yourself short here. Also, we should measure this bit as well. So if our joins go in here, that is our widest point, not here, that is our widest point. So from here, we already know it's going to be 30 inches that way. We need to go 25 inches for that last piece to join on. All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is essentially our headboard. So there'll be pleats here, you know the drill. So what I'm just going to show you here is, this is our diamond finish size. So this is the size we need to make our marks, essentially. So 10 1/4 top to bottom, 6 1/4 side to side. Here, I know that I need to go 7 inches up and 7 inches across. So that is the edge of the fabric is going to be 7 inches over here, and the top of the fabric is going to be 7 inches up here to my first mark and my first mark. Then we're going to work all our way across. We're going to mark all of them out. And then here is our Van Dyke join. Then we're coming down, across, across, across. And normally you'd finish back here, but obviously because there's only 4 rows, there's not 2 complete diamonds. So we're going to go down, 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 and then across. So in between here, it's going to be 6 1/4, and here going to be 10 1/4. So I'm going to start marking on the fabric now, and I'm going to try and explain, because we're marking on the back of the fabric. Here, looking at the back of the fabric, is going to be over this side. So try to follow as we go through. This is how we do a Van Dyke. And get to our first big cut. Top at the top, You're going to need a ruler, a pencil or a chalk, but I would use a pencil. If you imagine, that's the front of the headboard, but we're working on the back of the fabric. So here, this bit of fabric is going to be over here. It's confusing, but you have to be careful. Hopefully guys, you can see our lines here. 1, 2, 3, 4. This is where we're starting, which is over this side. We're not starting over there because remember we're working on the back of the fabric. That mark is 7 inches in. I know that that is 7 inches in. So that is our top and start of our bottom. So now we need to do our straight lines. 6 1/4, 12 1/2, 6 1/4, 12 1/2. We're going to do that all the way across until we get to number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we get to button number 8. Right, so hopefully you guys can see where we are with this Van Dyke join. We said we're going to work across till number 8. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 is here. Our Van Dyke is going to come this way. Hopefully you guys can see that now. Obviously because there is a complete diamond here, we couldn't really finish the Van Dyke off, so this is how we're going to have to do it. So I've marked on the line, so what I'm going to do is cut 1/2 inch away from that. Let's just do that now. Right, so that is the beginning of our Van Dyke. Then we're going to do the part that we're going to sew on. So, here we go. Alrighty then. This fabric is really stretchy. So, I'm expecting my diamonds to come out slightly because it's not an exact science. Every fabric differs. Some got stretch, some haven't. So, you've got to try and allow for the variation in the fabrics. So, if we line these up from our widest point, so see here, I'm going to mark 1/2 inch away. And here, 1/2 inch away. Then we're going to go 6 1/4, 12 1/2, 6 1/4. So these are our diamonds now marked out. So if we drag this over to our points, we can see where we want to cut. So here we're going to do a straight line down. Here we're going to do a straight line up. We've allowed our 1/2 inch here, so we're going to cut 1/2 inch away. So when you sew those together, it's like a little jigsaw puzzle, isn't it? So when I start buttoning, I'm going to sew them together, and I'm going to start by following this. As long as I follow that, everything else should be fine. Everything else should fall into place. Diamonds sometimes don't always fall on your marks because the fabric can stretch, and then sometimes the first diamond can be perfect, but then as you move along, you're a little bit out, and then it just progresses. So this is what we're going to follow. We're going to start here, work our way out from there. Let's see how it goes. Let's sew this up. So guys, as you can see, once this is sewn, 1, 2, 3, 4. So all I'll do now is I will follow this. That'll go down into there. This needs Dacron on this headboard. That goes down into there. That'll go down into there. That'll go down into there. And then he will finish down there. And then that is how you do a Van Dyke joint. So I'll work from here outwards now and just generally have an awesome time.